Man, I really I don't know like what just happened. This is a very this is very crazy aftermath after this fight. Just so much talk about everything about scorecards and these scorecards afterwards are insane. Everyone's scorecards are all over the place. So many people viewed the fight so differently. It's actually crazy. It's actually insane. It confused me too. Like it made me think like, am I dumb or like did I watch something else? Like I don't know, but there's so many mixed opinions right now from so many different people, and this main event obviously has caused a lot of talk. I'm just gonna go straight into in to talk about the fight because there's a lot to talk about. Just starting with the main event, it was a pretty low paced first round. Evloev was on the feet the entire round. Wasn't something that really surprised me. As I said in my prediction video, I thought Evloev would be on the feet longer than you would think. He's like I said, he likes to mix his striking into his grappling, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. He was on the feet most of the round. It was mostly just kicks from the both of them. Murphy was using his footwork as expected, obviously, so he always does. Murphy I remember had a good combination going forward. Um, but it was a close round. It was a close round. It's the start to these close rounds. I gave it to Murphy though. I gave it to Murphy. In the second round, Murphy he started to look even better than the first. It looked like he started to find like a bit of a rhythm. He was fighting on the outside. Um, Evloev did land a nice right hand though. Murphy started to go to the body and started to kick from southpaw, as I said as well in my prediction video, would be good for him. Murphy looked good early. Like he looked pretty good early. I would have given it I would have given him both rounds. I would give him round one and round two. But into the third round, um, Murphy landed a nice Murphy landed a nice knee to the body, and then Evloev shot for a takedown and he got it. Murphy got up. Um, Evloev had a body lock, but decided to for some reason had a body lock against the cage and decided to let go of it and only land like one shot that didn't look like he really put a lot behind. It was very strange. I don't know why he did that. It was very weird. He could have just kind of like been there for a little bit, try to look to drag him back down again. It was very weird. And he could have unloaded with like a combination. Lerone had his back turned completely, but anyway, there was a pause for the first low blow of the fight. Keep that in mind. It's important. Obviously, I mean you know, but um, both 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 landed good shots throughout the round. Um, Evloev landed a good left hand from southpaw and landed a combination, then a knee, and then one of the shots opened a cut. I don't know which one it was, and I think that last little barrage is what won Evloev that round. I would say 2-1 Murphy going to into the fourth. But then again, right at the start of the fourth round, second low blow, referee takes a point. Um, I honestly didn't mind the decision, if I'm being honest. I didn't mind it. I did think that Lerone Murphy, I mean, I knew that Lerone Murphy, regardless if it was bad, it did look like obviously was low. I don't think it was intentional, no, obviously. But I did think Lerone tried to make it more than what it was. But I mean, I don't know how it looked like it was low anyway, so it could have actually hurt him a lot. But I think it's a thing now where if especially if you're on it's the second low blow and you try to kind of make it more than what it is and make it look worse, the ref will take a point anyway. But yes, there's a conversation. There's been a lot worse fouls, and there's been like before in the past. There's been like same like this. There's been two low blows in the fight, and they still don't take a point. There's inconsistency there, and I agree that it's but I didn't mind the decision, to be honest. But it is extremely important in this fight. It really really is. But Evloev, after getting the point taken away, he came out and came out more aggressive than before. Got 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 two takedowns. Murphy worked his way up when he was on the cage both times, against the cage both times. Evloev wasn't really able to control. Murphy went for a head kick later in the round and slipped and went to his back. Evloev was able to kind of pounce on that opportunity and was able to land some good ground and pound. Evloev landed the better shots throughout the round also. Evloev took round four, making it a 9-9 round, obviously with the point deduction. Um, in the fifth, Murphy apparently popped his hip in the fourth. Um, but Evloev really went for it late. He really did. Took Murphy down away from the cage and landed some good ground and pound. Was probably the most Evloev was able to control him the entire fight, to be honest. Um, Murphy tried getting up a couple times, but Evloev just dragged him back down. But Murphy eventually got to the cage and was able to fully work his way back up. This time, Evloev landed some shots as he let go of Murphy. Um, but after that, they made each other miss a lot when they were on the feet, and that was a thing a lot during this fight. They made each other miss so many times. It was just a common thing that happened. Um, Murphy threw a spinning elbow and missed, and Evloev was able to get a body lock and trip him down to the ground. Murphy got up for a brief moment, but Evloev just took him back down again. I think the takedowns in the fifth round is what really won Evloev the round. But as I said, the rounds were so close in this, especially the first three rounds were close. I think the last two are clear Evloev, but I think the first three are they're very close. I've heard people say they gave Evloev the first round. I gave Murphy the first round. I've heard people say they gave Evloev the second round. I gave Murphy the second round. And the third round I feel like is the one that's really the decider for a lot of people. As I said, I gave Evloev the third because of that barrage at the end of the round where he gave Murphy a cut. But these are close rounds, man. And like I said, so many people have so many different opinions on this fight. My official scorecard at the end of the fight was Murphy first round, Murphy second round, Evloev third round, Evloev fourth round, Evloev last round, which would make it a draw. Um, but dude, I would be lying if I said at the end of the fight, and this is from rewatching my scorecard. This is my scorecard after rewatching the fight. And but during the fight, dude, I would be lying if I said I didn't have Murphy winning the fight. Like if I'm being completely honest, like I really think that there was that third round was close, as I said, and like I don't think it's that crazy of a thing to say that Lerone Murphy like not I was it was like completely shocked to me that no one at the end of the fight, no judge scored any fight for Lerone Murphy, and but they did for Evloev. I don't know. And Evloev is the winner of this fight. Evloev won on the scorecards. I think a draw was the fair decision. Like this fight especially really seemed like a draw kind of fight. Like I didn't think Evloev I think he fought a very weird fight. Like I said in my prediction, I thought he would fight I thought he would be on the feet longer than people expect. And he did that. for the first two rounds. I thought maybe he's trying to kind of preserve his gas tank a little bit to get into the later rounds because it's his first five rounder. But if it evidently wasn't because of that, I don't know what it was. It's very weird. I thought once we got into the third round, he would really turn it up and really grapple more offensively and go more grappling heavy, but he didn't. And as I said, he looked competitive with and he was being competitive with Murphy on the feet, which was pretty much the entire fight. Like as I said that in my prediction video. Like it wasn't surprising to me when he was on the feet in those first two rounds. It's just when it got past the third and even the fourth and the fifth as well. I don't think he was as grappling heavy as he really should have. Still got the rounds, yes, but man, I mean, looking back on it, he probably really should have gone started with his grappling way earlier in the fight because those obviously those the early rounds were close and those would have really decided it. But man, this fight was really again, like I said, there was the first three rounds were they're close rounds. I think, like I said, the second two are pretty decisive in my opinion. Evloev won those last two, especially the fourth round where he got the point deduction. 100% his round. Yeah, man, yeah, it's crazy. And with my scorecard after rewatching, if Evloev didn't get a point taken away, he would have won the fight. So yeah, but this fight I think was really worthy of a draw. It really felt like a draw fight to be honest. Like there was very, like I said, there was a lot of making each other miss takedowns, but Evloev couldn't really control. Like I said in my prediction video, he doesn't really like do that well at controlling his opponents. He couldn't do it against Arnold Allen. Like not in the way you would think he would want to. And yeah, he was good on the feet. Um, as I said, he's good on the feet. He's man, this fight was so weird. It was so weird. And I got pretty much all my predictions on the rest of the card correct except for Axel Sola and Shamrock. The rest I got correct. I got Evloev right in the main event, but I'd be lying if I said that it went the way that I thought it would. It didn't. It looked like it was early in the fight. Like I said, I predicted Evloev to get a submission late, but never really even got close to getting a submission. Neither of them were really close to even getting a finish in this fight. No one was super badly hurt. Evloev might have stunned him with a couple punches, but other than that, no one really hurt each other badly like that. But yeah, I think a draw is the right decision with this fight, if I'm being completely honest. And you have so many people saying that this wasn't a good fight, and that neither of these guys honestly should get a title shot. Volk will destroy either one of them. I think Volk would be either one of them. Yes. People are saying to give John Silva a title shot. Because a lot of people scored it a draw, and I get that, sure. Um, but Evloev deserves a shot, man. He's been waiting for that shot for a long time. It kind of seems like he really doesn't have a good relationship with Dana. Um, but yeah, like I said, this fight was very, very weird. It was very weird. Looked like it was going the way I predicted early, but Evloev just didn't really control like I thought he would in the later rounds and go more grappling heavy in the later rounds. But it was a good fight. It was a good competitive fight. Um, wasn't fight of the night. Um, um, Jones and Axel Solo was fight of the night. But I'm just gonna do a recap on the rest of the card as well. Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell. Yeah, it was pretty competitive. It was a competitive fight. From the first round, Aswell took the center immediately, smothered Riley to the cage and was able to keep him there. They both looked dangerous in the exchanges in the first round. Riley started to get some momentum towards the end. It kind of eased into the round, and it was the first round was close and pretty competitive. Um, but Luke Riley started to really get into his groove in the second round. He looked a lot quicker than Michael Aswell, and looked like he just had more pop in his shots. Like if anyone was more likely to get the KO, it would be him. Riley Riley slipped and Aswell took advantage and got to his back, but Riley was able to break from it. Riley landed some nice nice quick combos, shots to the head and to the body. He was being very patient. Aswell in the third round was in on a body lock against the fence and tried to work to a takedown, but he couldn't get it. Riley fought on the front foot as well for the rest of the round, landed the better shots, in my opinion. Aswell did land also, uh, but it was a good competitive fight. Aswell can take a shot. Riley showed really good boxing in the fight. But if I'm being honest, it wasn't the performance that really anyone was looking for from Luke Riley, especially being put in that in the co-main event slot. But regardless, he got the win. I had it 2-1 to Luke Riley. I would have probably given the first round to Michael Aswell, but it could have been a 30-27 to be honest. It probably was a 30-27 to be honest. MVP versus Sam Patterson. It wasn't a great fight if I'm being completely honest. There's really little to no output in the first round. Like they had a couple. They only had a couple exchanges, but nothing really landed. Patterson did look close to landing. MVP came out a lot more aggressive than usual. It was very on. It was some. He doesn't really do that usually. Um, he put Patterson on his heels, and he landed probably a couple shots that probably won him the round. There wasn't much in it to be honest. The second round was more of the first round. Sorry, I got the first round was the second round was pretty similar to the second round. The second round was pretty similar. The second round was pretty similar to the first round. No one really wanted to be first or take any risks. There's a lot of waiting. There's still a lot of feints from MVP. Ended up in a clinch, but got out. MVP probably won the round based on the one right hand he landed. The round ended in the clinch. It's probably two. There's probably 2-0 going into to the third MVP, but there wasn't much in it. Like I said, Patterson in the third round came out more aggressive, trying to put MVP on his back foot, but they were in the clinch against the fence for probably 3 minutes of the first part of the round. MVP won the round again with probably like 3 strikes. There was not much in the fight, if I'm being honest. Like there really isn't much to break down afterwards. MVP's style just really causes a lot of people problems, and it makes a stalemate a lot of the times. And yeah, it just wasn't the best fight, if I'm honest. But MVP got the win. Uh, Boryanuski versus Austin Lane. I mean, there's nothing really else to say other than just the power of Boryanuski. Um, Boryaneski. It was over in 28 seconds. He got underneath Lane's jab, shot a right hand over it with a left hook behind it. Um, yeah, it was a good finish. I mean, they when they before the fights they usually like pan the camera to the fighters. When I saw Austin Lane's like face, he looks so drained. And this was he was coming down from heavyweight to fight Barnowski. His face looked so drained. It didn't look healthy at all. Um, but yeah, Barnowski has insane explosiveness and power, and still in his entire UFC career has never gone out of the first round. Has a 100% finish rate, and he's a judo guy. It's like gonna continue to keep my eye on him. He's just very exciting every time he fights. Always a high chance of a knockout, obviously. Delita versus CLD. In the first round, Delita caught CLD's kick and took him down, controlled him. When CLD was getting up, he went for a leg submission. CLD got out. As Delita got up, CLD rushed him. Delita landed a nice spinning elbow. It looked like it hurt CLD, but for majority of the round, CLD looked pretty confident on the feet, to be honest. In the second round, Dolidze was still looking for spinning attacks. He looked like he really wanted a submission as well. Um, CLD landed a nice left hand from southpaw. CLD is like really explosive, quick and explosive for 185. He's a crazy athlete. Um, there's a lot of time spent against the cage in the second round. The round ended against the cage. But COD, like I said, looked dangerous in the feet this entire fight. In the third round, COD, he just couldn't really well, the entire fight, he just couldn't really put it together. He was only landing like one or two shots at a time, never in like big onslaughts or anything. Dolidze was still looking for spinning attacks in the third round. I mean, the fight ended with Dolidze with Dolidze on CLD's back on the ground. Didn't really do anything with that. CLD got the win. I thought he had the win at the end of the fight. As I said in the prediction video, Dolitze is very hard to finish. He's a very hard guy to finish. Um, yeah, there's probably a round in there where you could give to Dolitze, but second round was Christian Leroy Duncan's for sure. I think well, CLD is now will be in the top 15 in middleweight. It's a good win for him. Curtis Campbell versus Danny Silva. Yeah, as I predicted Silva to win. Silva came out aggressive, put Campbell on his heels. Uh, Campbell shot for a takedown and got Silva's back, but Silva defended well. And from every other takedown attempt from Campbell, he defended well against them as well. It was a pretty close first round. There wasn't much damage from either one of them, but Campbell probably took the first round. Silva came out more aggressive came out aggressive again in the second round too. Landed a nice body shot into a right hand that hurt Campbell and dropped him. Silva went to finish the fight and landed a couple more right hands that dropped him as well. Dropped him a couple more times. Silva KO'd Campbell in round two. It was the first loss of Curtis Campbell's career. It was always going to be a big ask for Curtis Campbell, to be honest. Like, Silva is very good, and I think he's someone that will be in the top 15 at featherweight very, very soon. Um, yeah, it's just it was always going to be a tough ask for Curtis Campbell, but Silva got it done. Mason Jones versus Axel Sola, fight of the night, bro. This fight was amazing. It was really amazing, really, really good fight. Just both so game, and Mason Jones is a freaking dog, man, absolute dog. Um, but yeah, in the first round, there was a few good shots from both. Solo was fighting at a good range, landing some good spinning back fist. Landed a good spinning back fist. Looked like it hurt Mason Jones. Was able to get two takedowns. Mason Jones landed a nice knee. I don't know if that was what opened the cut. Mason Jones got more momentum at the end of the round. Um, it 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 was a fight from the first round. But I would have gave Solo the first round. Um, Second round was a better round from Jones. Landed two big knees and high kicks. Solo's cut was just getting worse and was swelling. Solo was still extremely game though. He was still in this fight, still attempting spinning attacks. It was 1-1 going to into the third. Massive head kick from Mason Jones in the third round. It really hurt Sola. Jones was constantly looking for that knee throughout the round as well. Jones finished the fight extremely strong, had a lot of momentum at the end, and landed an insane onslaught of knees to the head and to the body at the end of the fight. Insane fight. It was an absolute banger. Mason Jones, as I said, is a dog and should be loved way more by the fans. Solo was really tough, man. He was so game as well. He never gave up in the fight. He should hold his head very high. But I had it 2-1 Jones. Great win. Really good fight. Um, Nathaniel Wood versus Lucena Keita. I predicted Nathaniel Wood to win. He got it done. In the first rounds, there's a lot of feints from Keita, some low kicks from Nathaniel Wood. Both looked very fast. Wood's boxing looked very good. But Wood was just out of range in that first round, out of range of combos. He was hesitant. You could tell he was hesitant to get to the inside of Keita. Um, no, he didn't want to get caught with anything stupid. But in the first round, no one really landed anything cleanly. It was a very slow first round. I gave Wood the first round because of the kicks. In the second round, Wood was still landing more kicks, using his jab, which Keita was trying to counter off of. He was always trying to counter off Wood's jab. Nothing of real significance landed in the second round. Wood almost landed a counter right hand over the top. Keita might have landed that knee and got a right hand at the end. It was another close round. Um, Nathaniel Wood was still chopping at the leg in the third round, using his jab a lot better. Landed a nice right hand at the end of the round. Keita was trying to turn up the pressure and back Wood up, but couldn't do much because Nathaniel was starting to use his jab a lot better. Um, Keita was switching stance a lot from this round. I don't know if it was because of the leg kicks or just trying to give different looks, but this was a very close and technical fight. I had 2-1 Wood, and he won the fight. I think it was the right decision as well. Um, Mario Pinto versus Franco. Uh, Again, this was another not great fight. It was a very slow first round. There was really little to no output. I probably gave the first round to Franco, but it was close to score. I don't know. There wasn't much in it, like I said. Second round was another low output round. Most of the round was up against the fence in the clinch. Pinto got a takedown from it, landed at probably like one good right hand and an uppercut at the end. Um, I had it 1-1 going into the third. Pinto Pinto got a takedown again, was able to stay on top for a little bit. Um, but Franco got up pretty quickly. Um, it was more the second and the same, and more the same of what it was in the second round in the clinch against the fence. Pinto really tried to get another takedown, but Franco was able to defend very well. Pinto landed a nice elbow at the end. I had a 2-1 Pinto at the end of the fight. Wasn't the fight I expected, to be honest, and not the performance I expected from Mario Pinto, but it is what it is. Contra de Vicious versus Tricoli. Um, Contra de Vicious looked dangerous on the feet from early. He looked like he came to knock out Tricoli in a round, but he was mainly controlled by Tricoli against the cage. Looked like Tricoli, and it looked like after that Tricoli kind of tired himself out a little bit. They eventually separated from that clinch, but neither of them really landed anything. Contra did land some big shots at the end, but honestly looked gassed at the end of the first round. In the second round, Tricoli tried to take Contra down, but tried to take Contra Vicious down, but he defended well. Landed a nice elbow in the clinch, which hurt Tricoli. Ended up in another clinch with which and ended up in another clinch. Um, Contra Vicious honestly should have separated from that clinch. He honestly could. I think he could have gotten a finish. There was a low blow. It kind of slowed things down a little bit from that sequence. Um, After that, Tricoli went for another takedown, but Contra de Vicious went for he defended very well, and he just seemed like the stronger guy, to be honest, in the entire fight. I had it 2-1 Contra de Vicious. In the third round, Tricoli he knew he needed a finish, so he came out a little bit aggressive for a little bit, but again, most of the fight was against the fence after that. A lot of it was Tricoli was kind of hunched over with a body lock with contractive issues against the cage. Um, Both landed a low blow on each other. Um, they both looked gassed at the end of the fight. Um, Contractive issues was like doing the point down, like laying the fight, whatever. Contractive issues got the win, as I predicted, but it was a very weird fight to be honest. Contractive issues he looked gassed, like I said. I think he could have honestly gotten a finish. Like I said, from that sequence after he hurt him with the elbow and was in that clinch, he should have separated and try to finish the fight. But I think as well, Tricoli might be getting cut after this fight. Um, but moving on, Sutherland versus Pericic. It was a pretty fast TKO. I mean, right off the bat, they went straight for each other. It was a very weird end to the fight. But Sutherland wasn't really reacting well to any of the shots that Pericic was landing on him. It was another quick finish for Pericic. Um, Shamrock versus Al Sawadi. It was a very good first round. Very good first round. Salwadi showed a lot of looks. He was feigning a lot. He had some nice subtle stand switches. Got a knockdown. Um, and it ended with a good takedown as well. He got reversed at the end, obviously, but in the second round, Shamrock was waiting a bit too much. He was kind of letting Al Sawadi be first a lot, and Shamrock did eventually attempt to take down, but he couldn't really do anything with it. But the second round was closer than the first. But in the third round, Shamrock he honestly should have gotten his kicks going from early. I think they would have benefited him a lot in this fight. Um, Shamrock went for a takedown again. El Sawadi tried to sprawl, but he was too close to the cage. Shamrock was able to take his back for a brief moment, but he got a bit too high and he fell off. Yeah, and it got a bit fiery after the fight. Like Sawadi kind of like threw a little punch at him and kind of didn't want a glove touch after the fight. I heard that they did have a bit of beef, but all in all, Sawadi fought a pretty good fight. I thought it was a great showing. A lot of people predicted him to lose this fight, so me included. It was the one of two I got wrong in this card. Um, Dreyer versus Oliveira. It was a pretty slow first round. It was a bit of a feel out round. Dreyer worked a lot of her kicks and some jabs. Didn't really take any risk. She won the round. In the second round, Dreyer started to put a bit more. It looked like she tried to put a bit more behind her shots now in the second round. Landed a nice straight right hand that hurt Oliveira badly. Found the home for the right head kick. Um, right to the face of Oliveira. Oliveira tried to survive, but they got caught up in a clinch and Dreyer was able to toss her off. Went to finish the fight with a ground and pound. Got the finish. It was a great debut. And overall, I said before the fight, I said before that it was a it was a 7 out of 10 on paper. The card was a 7 out of 10 on paper. I think it started off pretty good. I think the fights with Contradevicius and Tricoli and Pinto and Franco were kind of stopped that momentum a little bit. Wood versus Keita was a good competitive fight, but there wasn't much. Um, I mean, Jones versus Axel Solo was after that. It was that was the best fight of the night, like I said. I would say the main card was good though, but even like I said, the performance from Luke Riley in the co-main event was probably not what it wasn't what anyone was expecting. But and the Michael Venom Page and Sam Patterson wasn't a great fight as well. Like I said, yeah, but it wasn't a bad card. Yeah, this card was just very weird, if I'm honest. At the end of it, the main event really has a lot of people talking. Like I said, the scorecards were all over the place. There's so many people that have so many different opinions on it, and but yeah, man, this was my recap and my thoughts. Like I said, I had predicted. I only got two predictions wrong from my prediction video. Um, I predicted Evloev to win the fight, but I'd be lying if I said this is how I thought he would win. I did say he could win by decision, but this fight was a lot closer than I thought it would be, to be honest. I thought it would be competitive in the early rounds, but I thought as the fight went on, Evloev would dominate a lot more. And I wouldn't say he dominated. I'd say he won the last two pretty convincingly. But like I said, the first three rounds were very close rounds, and a lot of people score them all differently. So it just goes to show. But yeah, these are my post fight reaction, post fight thoughts, and recap. Let me know your comment. Let me know your thoughts down below on the main event and the rest of the card. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Peace.